Around 1900, composers started to get very interested in trying to think of new materials for their compositions. Claude Debussy and other composers started trying to find new materials. Some went back to what's old is new. They brought modes back into their music, the old church modes, and treated them in different ways. And they also tried to come up with some new ideas. One of the ideas was this whole tone scale, and it's constructed exactly how it sounds. It's all whole steps. So if you make a scale that is only whole steps, if you start on C, go C, D, E, the next note is F sharp, then G sharp, A sharp, and then you're back to C. And if you put this scale together, it equals a whole tone scale. It's all whole steps. It's very nebulous sounding. In fact, if you watch 60s TV, whenever there's a dream sequence and something is happening, you'll hear like you're going back in time, or you're getting very sleepy. It's nebulous. Something is floating because there's no set point. Any one of these notes could be do. It really doesn't define it like a major scale. There's no T, do, there's no fa, mi, there's no tritone resolution. In fact, the whole thing is a bunch of tritones. So it's very unstable in a way. Composers use this for sections of music. Some tried to write whole pieces of music using the whole tone scale. You can imagine after a while it might get a little bit boring just to stay in there because it really has no direction. So they thought, well, what if we transpose it? How could we transpose it? And just like in tonal music, if you're in the key of C and then you want some contrast, you might modulate to G. And just from that, you know that a major scale you can have 12 different versions of it. C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, and so on. And every time you start from a different pitch, you end up with a different collection of notes. However, when they started trying to transpose the whole tone scale, they found out there's just two versions. And in a way, if you think of the keyboard as these notes that are here, that I'm pressing down, and then the ones I'm not, which might be thought of as its complement, the other group is another whole tone scale. And if I start that scale anywhere else, I'm going to end up with one of these two, because you can only transpose it one half step away to get something new. And so if you really wanted to just kind of go from one to another, you might have a piece that went and then modulate. For contrast, go back. And then maybe move to the other one. But you only have two options. So it's a mode of limited transposition, and there are only two. So that's the whole tone scale.